A man is in his room, chained due to an illness caused by a creature that keeps him possessed. One of his sons, Philip, approaches, and his father attacks him. Sometime later, Philip and his brother Jake find a deformed calf suffering in pain on their farm and have to end its life. And so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie. Jake looks for his brother Graham, who lives isolated from his siblings due to the trauma he experienced with their father. Jake seeks him out because his brother Philip started showing the same symptoms their father had when he was sick. The brothers go to the house, and there, Graham begins to have flashbacks of his trauma with their father, even dreaming about him. The next morning, Jake tells his brother that he feels what possessed their father is still at the farm and blames him for leaving the farm and abandoning him with their brother.
I was afraid, Jake. I still am.
Philip appears and seems to have something wrong with his body, but according to him, it's just an allergy. Graham tries to talk to him, but Philip also confronts him for leaving and abandoning them in all the mess. That night, the creature enters Philip's room, calling him. Graham wakes up and enters Philip's room to check if he's all right, only to find a chicken trapped under the bed. He takes the chicken to the coop, but, on the way, finds dead chickens scattered on the ground. In the coop, he sees Philip eating them, something their father used to do too. When Graham approaches, Philip bites him. With Jake's help, Graham takes Philip back to the house. Graham wants to call an ambulance, but Jake refuses. They realize that whatever had possessed their father is now inside Philip, moving within him. Jake manages to make Philip vomit the creature, but as Graham tries to kill it, the door slams shut. The brothers search for the creature and find it on the ceiling. They manage to catch it and trap it in a cake container. Like with their father, the brothers tie Philip up. Graham goes to talk to him, and Philip says that thing is still here and will attack again, though he feels better now that it's no longer inside him. The brothers clean up the mess Philip left behind, and Graham removes the chains so Philip can see the creature that came out of him, which is growing larger. Later, we heard the creature calling Philip again. Graham goes to clean his wound, which now looks like an eye and even blinks.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, Jake senses a presence, follows it, and starts recalling the time Graham killed their father, or at least thought he did. The father awakens in a demonic state and attacks. Jake tries to help, and Philip hits him. The memory traumatizes Jake so much that he starts attacking Philip, begging the demon to leave them alone.
Leave us alone, you motherfucker!
Graham holds him until he calms down. Graham tells his brother they need to leave the farm because it's driving them all crazy. But on the way, Philip starts writhing in pain and bleeding, as the creature didn't completely leave his body. Graham takes him to his mechanic shop and leaves him with Cole, his employee. While Graham checks his wound, which keeps growing larger, Cole, seeing Philip's worsening condition, calls an ambulance despite Graham telling her not to. At that moment, Philip disappears and then reappears. Cole goes to talk to Graham, asking what's going on, and Graham confesses that his brother is possessed. The place starts shaking and objects fly around. The door opens by itself and the demon speaks to Philip.
I warned you.
Cole and Graham go looking for Philip, but instead, they find Jake, who once again accuses Graham of leaving and abandoning him. After an argument, Graham asks Cole to stay in the office to keep her safe. Meanwhile, Graham gets the idea to draw the creature out of Philip by making him angry so that they can extract it completely. Graham theorizes that the creature needs a host to grow strong enough to survive on its own. The brothers hear a radio broadcast at that moment,
The disease and I are now one.
and they find Philip on the ceiling, possessed by the creature. They grab him and chain him up. In his armpit, where Philip claimed he had an allergy, it's clear that it wasn't an allergy, but rather the creature growing inside him. The demon begins to writhe, and the brothers talk, resolving their differences to fight the creature together and save Philip. At that moment, the police arrive at the mechanic shop. The brothers unchain Philip and hide him to deal with the police. Philip gets up, feeling the creature leaving his body. Meanwhile, Graham tries to drive the police away, but they insist on entering the shop. The creature finally leaves Philip's body, mutating and growing larger. Jake keeps Cole quiet as the police investigate. One officer finds Philip cornered against a wall, warning him to leave. The officer ignores him and the creature attacks. During the chaos, Jake accidentally shoots himself. Graham realizes the officer is dead and helps his brother. Cole goes to grab something to drink, and Philip tells his brothers that the creature is still somewhere nearby. Cole encounters the creature, now mutated into a strange humanoid being.
Ew! What the fuck?
Graham and his brothers find her and realize that the creature is their father.
Dad?
Graham remembers what their father told them, that the illness, the creature, would take over him and they wouldn't recognize him. Since their father didn't want to see the monster he'd become, he made a blood pact with his sons. He asked them to end his life when the time came, and so Graham did. But it's not over yet. The same illness is now in Graham, due to the bite Philip gave him. Graham tries to take his own life, but his brothers stop him, attempting to extract the creature from his chest before it takes over. Jake manages to pull the creature out and kill it. Police sirens are heard in the distance. So, Cole and the brothers flee the shop, heading to an uncertain destination, and that's how the movie ends. But wait, back at the brothers' house, we see that the creature, once trapped in the cake container, has escaped and is still alive. The movie focuses on the mysterious creature whose name we don't know, and even though it's the central element of the film, we never truly learn what it is. The brothers view it as a disease caused by this parasite. From what we know, it's a creature that possesses your body to grow inside you and eventually live on its own. Not only that, but it also seems to retain the memories of its host, as we see with the creature that held onto their father's memories. We don't know where this creature comes from, but it seems to be transmitted like a disease through a bite, as when Philip bit Graham or when their father attacked Philip. The small part of the creature is still out there, alive, looking for its next host.